So Kramer, it's kind of a lukewarm season for you and the Denver Broncos, just under their win total. I have them over.
Cold, not lukewarm.
Cold. Wow. Okay.
I would say.
I mean, you're only a half game under. It's not like it's not like a complete fade.
That was an I went through that schedule and optimistically picked those games because, and I'll throw out my first pick and you'll see why.
Okay.
Last winless team.
Ooh.
Somehow there's 4 teams with shorter odds than the Denver Broncos when they start with 3 road games.
It is a tough
in the first 4 with Pittsburgh coming to town against a rookie quarterback in the home game. So 11-1 for Denver to be the last remaining winless team. I mean, we just went through the schedule. I was very, very optimistic. I did find them some wins in that second stretch, but I think the floor is very low for this team. I think the ceiling is like kind of what they were last year.
See, I guess that's where I disagree because Sean Payton, his coaching pedigree, what he's gotten out of, I mean, Taysom Hill as a starter, like this guy figures out ways to win.
That was after he had built a successful culture, like following Drew Brees, like spot starting. I would just say like he hasn't been a head coach anywhere else. The sample is simply I show up, I build something with Drew Brees, and then it was successful for a long time.
But I don't think Drew Brees was helping him win in 2021.
I mean, Drew Brees was a cerebral. Like, sure, Drew Brees physically might be the same as Bo Nix, like Drew Brees at the end and Bo Nix right now. Yeah. But the mind game of Drew Brees was very high. He was very good at getting the ball out quickly.
I think if you can figure out how to get that many wins out of Taysom Hill as a starter, you're a good head coach and you're a good offensive mind, and he's bringing in the guys he wants to coach up that defense. I think there is high level talent at the cornerback position. I like what they did on the defensive line. I think they're going to be better in the run game. I have them over 5.5 wins. I obviously like that. I think 6 wins is their floor. I mean,
really,
we're going to be doing win total locks.
Favored twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean.
I'm just saying. I'm concerned. Like,
so you're expecting a historically bad season from Sean Payton, and I'm not.
No, I'm simply saying like I think you lay out a good optimistic case.
No, but I'm just saying if you're now maybe Sean Payton doesn't have the influence. Maybe this roster is really that bad.
It's a quarterback for me. I think a lot of it is about the quarterback.
Yeah, it is a rookie quarterback as well. I get it. I'm just saying when you can win games with Taysom Hill as your quarterback, you've earned my respect in gambling. You just have. I didn't
realize Taysom Hill would catch so many strays on this episode.
No, but
he's not Tim Tebow. Come on.
Are you talking about tight end Taysom Hill or?
Well, he was a better tight end and quarterback than Tim Tebow in the pros. I think it's fair comment.
I mean, I like what I like Sean Payton. I like what they've done. I like what they did in the draft. I think you're easing the transition, bringing in a receiver from the team that you played on. I think that was a smart pick. I think Sean Payton is a guy, he went all in on Bo Nix. He's kind of staking his reputation on the line with Bo Nix. And I like that confidence.
Maybe he'll be irrational.
And I would say what separates this from other situations, other teams that are going to be starting a rookie quarterback. Like we just did our Patriots team preview. Shout out to Capper. To me, what separates them is the offensive line. Like you're not going to be able to grow and develop with a horrible offensive line. I think this offensive line is pretty good. They've spent a ton of money on this offensive line. The same way why was Drew Brees successful? Obviously he was great at reading defenses, great at finding the open guy, but they also built the right kind of offensive line for Drew Brees. And I think they already have a very good offensive line in place for Bo Nix. I think they're going to be a run first team. I think they're going to get some play action stuff, give him easy completable throws. I think this Broncos team isn't as bad as you make it out to be. And that's why I'm also tossing on Denver Broncos to make the playoffs at plus 760. They had a nightmare season last year. They let up 70 points against the Miami Dolphins. A lot of teams, a lot of franchises would have just packed it in after you give up 70 to the Dolphins. Meanwhile, I felt like that was like their turning point. They became a better team. He got the most out of Russell Wilson. They survived. They moved on. You know, you talk about bad luck. They also had good luck. They also had some bad luck. Like they completed a Hail Mary pass and still lost that game. Like they weirdly, I think their luck kind of evened out. You look at that -10 turnover differential, you get that to like even close to even. I think they could easily win 9-8 games and be in the mix here for that last playoff spot.
Another reason to be a little cautious with them is they lead the league in dead money, thanks to Mr. Unlimited.
Well, great point, because the Eagles were up there in dead money, and they made the playoffs at 9-8, starting a rookie quarterback in Jalen Hurts. So I could see that kind of being a similar situation. The Eagles were recovering off the Carson Wentz thing. They brought in Jalen Hurts, a guy that they had a scheme fit for,
it's a bit of an outlier,
good offensive line. I'm just saying, I think there actually are some similarities between that Eagles 9-8 team that squeaked into the playoffs, got murdered by the Tampa Bay Bucks and Tom Brady. I don't see them making any noise in the playoffs, but them maybe taking the Steelers, whatever, like Saturday afternoon spot where they're going to get slaughtered, I think is reasonable, and especially at the price plus 760. I like it. I like believing in Sean Payton to turn things around. And I think they're going to be a decent team. I don't think they're going to be awesome. I don't think they're going to be amazing, but I'm certainly much higher than the market on the Denver Broncos.
Are you going to play them in the division market at all? The 1-2 maybe with the pair them with the Chiefs?
I don't know. What does that pay? The division exacta.
If you go Chiefs, Broncos plus 550.
Yeah.
So you'd rather just play the playoffs.
Yeah. Cause I think
that's probably,
and that's
right.
such a weird window you got to thread too. Like they, I mean, what if the Chargers are 10-7, Broncos 9-8 or something like that? Or yeah, maybe they get second place and Chiefs get first, but I don't know. I'd rather just take playoffs at plus 760.
Is there I guess what else are you playing? Cause typically when you're hot, when you see a ceiling case for a bad team, you hunt for other areas to like awards markets, maybe, but with this team, it's so hard to pinpoint a single. Cortland Sutton in the touchdown market, especially if you can find a divisional touchdown markets. Shout out to DK, they released the divisional yardage markets. Something I went after big time last year.
Who was it? Was
Tyler Algier.
Tyler Algier. It
was a fun sweat.
You were right in spirit that.
Someone else
that Arthur Smith is going to enrage fantasy owners by not using Bijan Robinson to his max. So while that bet didn't come home, the spirit of it certainly was correct. I do like a small sprinkle on offensive rookie of the year, Bo Nix, because
what's that price?
16-1.
That actually, as someone who's not high on the Broncos, if I was going to play, if the Broncos have a great year, to me, like my whole case against was the quarterback position. So if they have a great year, it has to be because Bo Nix is good. And if a quarterback looks good in a Sean Payton system, it's going to be a lot of counting stats. Think about some of the records that Drew Brees was able to break. I'll have to think about it. I almost think that's a good way for me to play insurance on the Broncos.
Yeah, because if I think the Broncos make the playoffs, and I certainly do like the case at plus 760, if you send a rookie quarterback to the playoffs, you almost lock up offensive rookie of the year. I don't know off the top of my head if it's ever happened where a guy who started the majority of the games. Look at CJ Stroud. Now I'm not.
If two get, that's how it happens.
Yeah,
if Caleb Williams and he goes,
certainly, and it's, to me, it's at least some sort of other. Obviously, I do believe Caleb Williams is the favorite for a reason. I don't think Jaden Daniels has a chance to start every game and make the playoffs. I don't think Drake May has a chance to start every game and make the playoffs. I don't think Michael Penix has a reasonable shot to start every game and make the playoffs. Now, maybe Michael Penix, something crazy happens.
There's a chance
late. So to me, Bo Nix is the other guy I want a small play on at 16-1 here. And I do like his, if we're going to get to the underdog play, Bo Nix higher 28.50.5 passing yards. This probably to me is one of my favorite ones, because I think they're going to start him all 17 games, barring injury. This is a very reasonable number to cross. I mean, Bryce Young played 16 games, horrific, and he still got over this. So
Horrific.
I mean, how else would you describe that season? He played 16 games. He was really bad. He still got to 28.77. Now, in general, yes, auto unders, sure, but for the underdog play, Bo Nix higher 28.50.5 passing yards. Kramer, what's your underdog season long play?
I thought I was going to come in here and try to find something to go under or to go lower, and but I didn't. Javonte Williams' number is ridiculous. I don't know if you looked at any of his numbers, but last year, Sean, how many yards did Javonte Williams rush for? He played. He started 13 games. He had 217 carries.
I'm gonna say 900 yards.
774 yards.
Yeah.
3.6 yards per attempt. Right, the year after the injury, not efficient at all.
But I think he could get up to like 4.6.
It's 625.5 this year.
Yeah,
that's a mistake.
Yeah, if
he's gonna be the guy, you know what it is? This is the fantasy community wanting some new guy to show up, so they're spreading all these rumors. Hey, they might cut him. Why would they ever cut a guy on a rookie contract? No team is ever going to cut a guy on a rookie contract.
No,
it does not make sense to do so.
Yeah,
you're
right.
Stupid. You fantasy fucking nerds.
Especially like a cheap running back. This is what you do in the NFL. You get cheap running backs.
So I mean, I feel like we talked about this on a best ball stream, but the Javonte Williams is going very late in fantasies. So yeah, my Broncos play is actually going to be a higher on Javonte Williams. The 625.5 rushing yards seems wrong, because I think if one thing I would project in Sean Payton's offense, he has, and we didn't mention it, but drafting the Notre Dame running back as well, he has this stable of running backs for a reason. He likes to use 3 running backs.
Yeah,
it's just he's gonna use them a lot, and I think Javonte Williams is going to be the best of them. And if we see a little step forward on the efficiency, this is going to be an easy cash.